Someone asked me this question the other day, and I want to answer it publicly because it's something I've had to deal with and answer to my whole life. The question is, I don't understand how you're so happy. It was about being happy while being single. I just want to put it out there to be known that I am a very self cultivated person. I have been in so many situations on my own where at this point, it's like adding more people in my life is great and all, but then it disrupts my peace and my energy. So I've always been very recluse and very selective with the people that I have in my space and in my life. At certain points, I've had more people in, and that's when it gets super chaotic and very distracting for me. So for me, peace is to be alone a lot of the time. I have a lot of 12th house energy, Pisces energy in my chart. So being alone for me is like, it's my go-to happy place most of the time because I'm also very empathetic and I'm very easily drained by being around other people, crowds. I'm very introverted naturally with some extroverted parts of myself. I have a Leo Mars, so when I'm feeling like I want to party and go out and be seen, I do that. When it comes to my happiness, I'm not going to put my happiness in other people's hands and expect them to give me my happiness. That doesn't make any sense to me. I think I would be waiting a lifetime if that were the case. If I were waiting for someone to give me happiness, I would be waiting a really fucking long time. There was a point in my life where I realized I have a hard life. And it's always going to kind of be this way. The cards I was dealt is not like the other people that I know, that have two parents in the household consistently, that don't have a single mom, that, know their biological fathers, all these things that, could have set me back and did set me back in certain ways, put me at a really early understanding of my life is different than others, and I'm going to have to work a little differently to achieve what I want, and that's okay. Luckily, I had a great mom. I have a great mom that's very Leo natured, so very God essence, very optimistic in nature, very, we can do it, we can fix it, we can make anything from nothing. I also grew up with no money, so, growing up poor and very having to be creative. I'm very creative. I can be bored and be very happy being bored, or I can be in a space with nothing and create so much. I'm very much an alchemist where I turn crappy situations into really, really, really turned over leaves, golden, highest essence that they ever could be. But that process is not ever going to be easy. I think people see happy people and they just assume that it's just easy for them, and they don't understand that it's been a work, it's been a balancing, it's been a maintenance for themselves. Every person is unique and every person is different. So what makes me happy is not going to make everyone happy, and vice versa. Where I like having my alone time makes a lot of people go nuts, or too much alone time makes a lot of people go nuts. We have to have a happy balance and a happy medium. But it is so important to be able to cultivate happiness for ourselves on our own and not expect to be able to drain that from other people. And I understood that from a very early point on in life. I would rather deal with my own shit than dump it on somebody else. And that's also not the best thing. I need to learn how to open up to the right people. I've just opened up to a lot of the wrong people. So I have a lot of PTSD with opening up to new people and even previous people. Like, I'm very recluse in nature because I self-preserve and I protect my energy. And if we're giving our energy out all the time to people, to partners, to family, to work, just constantly giving ourselves out, we're going to feel run down. We're going to feel exhausted and tired. And of course, we're going to be looking to someone else, like, give me energy because I'm so exhausted and I don't have any. But that's not really fair of us to do. So when someone always asks me, like, how are you so happy? I had to find my happiness within. I had to find what makes me happy and practice those things every day and make it a ritual to keep those things close to me every day and to get the things away from me that do not want me to be happy, that do not want me to be in my most bold, bright, successful, beautiful, highest essence. I had to get away from those things and those energies that aren't seeking to cultivate that for themselves. Because when it comes to my peace and happiness, those are really the only in my heart. Those are the things that run me. I'm very solar led. I'm very heart led. My heart is my operation system. So as soon as my heart gets infected, my operation system is malfunctioning. So it's my job to make sure that I don't malfunction and I keep my joy space, my happy space as clean as I can. And it's not easy. I have shitty days. I cry all the time. A lot of people may not realize I scream, I cry. I'm all Scorpio in my Western. So I'm very emotional creature. I'm very hot-headed, lots of first house nature in my chart, Mars and Leo in the ninth house. Like, I don't fuck around when it comes to my anger and my rage. And I've had a lifetime, and I still will have this whole lifetime to understand my rage and that it is sacred and how to properly express it without hurting other people or myself. How do I stay so happy? I fucking love myself and I love my life. And when I don't love myself and I don't love my life, I know some things need to change in my life and I have to change them. If I don't change them, I'm choosing to be unhappy and I'm choosing to not have happiness close to me. So if a relationship is draining, if a connection is draining, if a job is draining, if an environment is draining, I'm leaving. I'm not like my happiness. And let this be a Leo message for everybody. Your happiness is your responsibility, nobody else's. So if you're in an environment that sucks, it's your time to change that environment. If you're in a relationship that sucks, it's time for the dynamic of the relationship to change or just to get rid of the relationship completely altogether. People need to also understand that happy people are not happy all the time. We're human. Like, we're all human. We all have up days, down days. I just choose happiness. I can choose to be a sopping ball, depressed, angry, mad. And I do choose that, especially on my cycle. I give myself permission to feel those ways, but I do not allow myself to stay sunken in that place of like feeling like crap. I have a Leo nature. I was raised by a Leo mother. My father has a Leo moon. I'm very much like, get off your ass and let's run and sweat about it and then go jump in the ocean and have margaritas after. And then just like that joy part of life. Joy and pleasure is so important. And this is a concept also in Hindu culture. I forgot the name. It may be like mudita. That's a word that means joy, but it's the cultivation of joy in our lives and passion as like a practice. Like, if you don't have those things in your life is not going to be joyful. You're not going to have passion and juiciness in your life because you're not making joy, passion, and happiness a priority in your life. I make those things a priority and always have. And that's like, I trigger people because if you are coming around with energy that's going to dull that, I'm going to make it known. And that's the Leo energy. Leo triggers us to rise to the royalty of all that we are, which means our most happy, most healthy, most beautiful, most vibrant, radiant self. My question to the people, how do you stay so happy? How do you stay so happy being single? Why are you so unhappy single? What is the problem and the lack that you're missing? Is it connection? Is it intimacy? Is it friendship? Is it just companionship? And you can have those things without having an actual relationship. That's like, you can have platonic relationships. You can have friendships that fill in these things as well until you are ready, to really commit to something larger that's actually worth your time and actually worth your essence. Just been in so many relationships and so young. I've been ready to be married since I was young, and now in my 30s. I'm just really like settling in and enjoying myself and my age and not putting pressure on anything, just really living in the moment and moment to moment, feeding myself good things that make me happy and noticing the things that don't make me happy and doing my best to cut those things out of my life. It's all about awareness and how we are cultivating our own lives. If we're self-cultivated or if we're parasitic and feeding off of other people's energy and vibe rather than going within our own source and diving within. Because the more we learn ourselves, the more we learn how to make ourselves happy, the more we learn what doesn't make us happy, because we all have a blueprint here. And once we understand our own unique blueprint, we will be able to really be happy from a self cultivated place.